Hello, my name is James Hanney, and the leader analyzed in my paper is Tom Thalheimer, Senior Manager of Procurement Capital Programs for the Hillsborough County Aviation Authority. Before introducing Tom further, I will provide a brief background, on a recent project we worked on together. I'll then go over his leadership type, as well as the theory, style, and behavior he can be characterized by. After that, I will conclude with my presentation with some closing remarks on what I've walked away with from this process. Hillsborough County Aviation Authority owns and operates Tampa International Airport, which is currently undergoing about $1 billion worth of remodeling and expansion. As part of this expansion, the airport is building a new 2.6 million square foot consolidated rental car facility that will consist of 3 levels for rental car operations. This 8,700 vehicle space facility has been sized to accommodate the entire airport rental car market. In order to connect the ConRack to the airport's main terminal, a new automated people mover system needs to be procured. Such a system requires a contract that will provide for all services necessary for its turnkey delivery and integration with the infrastructure, as well as all permitting activities and coordination with its adjacent facilities. The project's budget was $175 million for the design build, owner's allowance for the design build, and O&M for the initial 5-year period. It's hard to imagine a profession that rivals public procurement when it comes to the important role ethical leadership plays. Public buyers are constantly called upon to facilitate a fair and competitive procurement process where the notion of ethical leadership is paramount. Public funds are being used, and the public trust must be taken into consideration with every decision that's being made. The state of Florida is home to some of the most transparent and broad public records laws, holding public procurement professionals accountable for their actions. As senior manager, Tom is responsible for overseeing all contracting activities associated with the airport's capital improvement projects. This includes all design contracts, design build contracts, and construction contracts. In addition to the 5 employees he has working directly under him, he's also called upon to serve in a leadership capacity when it comes to his opinion on anything related to capital improvement. Whether he's meeting with the CEO, board members, or anyone on the executive team, he's constantly called upon to provide expert advice. The following analysis will go into the type of leader Tom is, as well as the leadership theories, skills, and approaches he incorporates into his daily dealings. It will specifically examine his involvement with the automated people mover procurement, and as one of his subordinates, I was assigned to facilitate this process as a procurement agent. Tom is an organizational leader who focuses on execution and implementation. He has a heavy workload with tight deadlines to meet and is often empowered to recommend policy changes to the CEO and board of directors. In line with how most effective leaders are, Tom's leadership is somewhat of a conglomerate that combines more than one type of style, while also focusing heavily on ethical consideration. He's tough when he needs to be, but also fair and considerate with the context of the situation. This combined style approach integrates ethics into all decision making while also incorporating characteristics that reflect the directive style, supportive style, participative style, and delegative style. Additionally, Tom consistently demonstrates a high level of emotional intelligence. Tom displayed a directive style by establishing expectations and providing guidance and direction with what needed to be accomplished. He did not micromanage me, but instead had an open-door policy where he offered help and assistance on anything regarding the high-profile project. He held me accountable for the automated people mover procurement, yet he did not hover over my shoulder as I worked. The expectations were clearly set up front, and I was very clear with what my role was, as well as what the overall objective was. I felt I was part of a team, and I knew I could count on him in the event of a difficult circumstance came to fruition. Tom also displayed a supportive style by creating a friendly work environment for not only me as a direct report, but also for all individuals he interacted with on a daily basis. When called upon for help and assistance, Tom always responded promptly and did not have a problem with going over a particular situation or scenario in detail. While he did not always volunteer such information, I knew I always had him available to provide guidance if I deemed his input necessary. Due to the high profile nature of the procurement, this provided me with a level of comfort knowing that I was not on my own with such an important project. While I was clearly accountable for everything, I knew I could count on him to attack difficult scenarios with me. With this procurement, I was often focused to work late into the evening and on weekends. Tom displayed the participative style by routinely consulting with me and taking into consideration my opinion. He valued the feedback I provided, viewed me as a credible source, and quote unquote jumped into the trenches with me, often also working late into the evenings and on weekends. This type of participation in the process strengthened my trust in him as a leader because I knew he was willing to not only talk the talk, but also walk the walk. Tom also displayed the delegative style by entrusting me, as one of his subordinates, to make decisions and be accountable for the automated people mover procurement. He trusted that I would consult with him in the event there was a decision to make on something that I was unsure of. This was a critical component for not only the procurement success, but also for his overall success as a leader. By entrusting me with such a high-profile project, I was granted the opportunity to learn and grow from an extremely unique experience. A leader cannot simply handle everything by oneself and must be able to rely on a competent team to get things accomplished. By incorporating these leadership characteristics, Tom contributed greatly to a successful automated people mover procurement for the airport. To date, there are no other known airports that have underwent an automated people mover procurement for such a system without receiving any formal protests. Not only did this procurement not result with a protest, but it also came in at about $130 million under budget. It came in at $130 million, which was approximately $46 million under budget. This can be attributed to not only his display of the directive style, supportive style, participative style, and delegative style type of leadership, but also his incorporation of ethics. All potential contractors were privy to the same information and knew they had a fair shot at winning the contract. While Tom does expect a lot, he also demonstrates a high level of emotional intelligence as he's routinely able to successfully harness emotions and apply them to tasks. He's also able to identify his own emotions and those around him, manage emotions, and possesses the ability to cheer up or calm down others. He has a reputation for being friendly, while at the same time he has a reputation as someone who gets the job done and has a high standard of excellence. He artfully manages having a hardworking mentality, while also encourages a healthy work-life balance. I feel I can count on him for difficult situations and know he's always willing to provide sound advice as well as constructive criticism. On a personal level, he's sympathetic and flexible with me taking care of any issues I need to address outside of the workplace. I believe this type of mentality results in high morale, ultimately leading to better performance from his employees. His understanding and patience motivates me to work harder, do a better job, and develop more passion for the airport's mission, vision, and values. To conclude this analysis, I'd like to close with how Tom has served as a mentor for me. As Tom's direct report, I believe I've grown and developed significantly since working under him, and I believe I'll continue to grow and appreciate the manner in which he communicates, and I strive to emulate such a manner as I now have my own followers. The notion of working hard and getting the job done is important, but it does not always mean the environment will be a very happy one. A key objective for any successful leader is to effectively lead a team of high-performance followers that have high morale. Tom is able to effectively do this while also operating with a strong moral compass. After analyzing his behavior more closely, one can contribute his success to the leadership theories, skills, approaches, and high level of emotional intelligence he effectively incorporates into his daily dealings.